Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. We're your hosts. I'm Sybil Amuti.
And I'm Brandis Daniel.
What's up, Great Girlfriends? Hey,
Welcome,
it's
ladies.
Wednesday.
Welcome. I hadn't said welcome to the ladies in a long time, Sybil.
Haven't. Why don't you welcome them?
I know. Welcome, ladies. Welcome.
Welcome. Happy Wednesday, hump day, pressing through the week, right?
Absolutely. And we're in the middle of September.
Girl, that's so crazy.
OMG. Actually, we're actually in the end of September.
Yeah, September's done.
I cannot take it.
Done. And it's been amazing.
I cannot take it.
It's been a great month.
It has. But I just can't
favorite.
believe it's over.
I know. The time has been zipping by. It's almost time for Sky's birthday. Ooh.
I know. She just turned 11 months, and I'm like so in denial.
That's
I
wild.
can't even
I'm going to need her to stop growing up now.
I know. It felt like we were just recording and she was a little newborn.
It's so strange.
Crazy.
Even when we were at HFR, and to see you standing there not pregnant, and last year you were so pregnant, I was like, dog, this is amazing what a difference a year makes, you know?
A difference a year makes. A whole human can happen in a year.
In a year. She was there in a different form this year. She was out the womb.
She was.
Oh, no.
So how was your weekend?
Brenda? Girl.
I'm doing good, girl. Oh, I'm doing good. You know, I've been on full-time mommy duty. And to all my single mothers out there, to all my stay-at-home moms out there, I'm giving y'all major kudos right now. Kudos.
People don't understand what it takes.
Oh, my goodness. And then Rich had to work the weekend. So, yeah.
Well, you know what? At least you took Friday to go to the park, relax a bit. I mean, hopefully that helped a bit. You know?
I did. So we were out all weekend. So Friday we did Central Park Fridays.
Okay.
Saturday I went to Joy's house. Derek cooked out. He cooked so much food. And then Sunday we did Nia. So Sky spent time with her god brothers and sisters who are triplets, and that wore her out. So it worked out perfectly.
Oh, she was trying to keep up.
Girl trying to keep up.
I love it. I love it, Sky.
Trying to keep up. I was like, if I had her over there for 2 days, Sky would be walking.
Yeah, because she's trying to hang with all, and it's so many kids. Nia, you got a lot of kids, girl. So everybody's just looking at each other like, Sky trying to keep up with all the babies. Nia has triplets, y'all. She is the real MVP up in here.
Man,
and
what?
Even if you're not
a
mom, you have a mom. Call her and just tell her thank you. And if she says for what, just be like, because the Great Girlfriends told me that you are like the OG for doing all that you have done for me that I don't even understand. Because mamas go hard.
They go hard and they make it look so easy.
Yes, with doing it with lipstick and heels on.
Right. And their hair done.
What? And hair done. Smiling. And dealing with so many things behind the scenes. People don't get it. Ladies, if you don't have kids, I'm telling you, your mother, she did so much. And not that your dad didn't do a lot. You know, big shout out to dads. But as a mom, oh, my gosh. Oh,
it's so real.
Jesus.
It's so real. And they do it with so much grace. I didn't have so much grace tonight, did I, Sybil?
No, let me tell y'all, she was mean-spirited. She was so mean-spirited. I'm like, ugh.
So wait a minute. First of all, Sybil knows that I do not record after 9 p.m. Brandis is in the bed at 9.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go.
Everybody knows it. Everybody who knows Brandis knows she's in the bed at 9 o'clock. I might not be asleep, but I'm definitely under the covers at 9 o'clock. I'm just saying. But anywho, Sybil, how was your weekend?
Not that easy. So
let's go to your weekend. How was your weekend, girl?
So Brenda decides she wants to record Sunday night. but does not send me a time. So after my kids go to bed, I text her,
Oh
"Hey,
Lord.
are we still recording?" Here she come with a grumpy text. I didn't get a time. I forgot to send a time. All this extra. Then I get on the phone with her, and here she goes griping. You know I'm in the bed. You know I go to bed. You know I'm in the bed. I'm like, Brandis, you said Sunday night, and here we are. Let's go. She was barking at me.
Like night
Rich in the bed. Everybody in the bed. We in the bed.
I'm gonna need you to stop mocking me, please. Please stop mocking me. Please.
You know we in the bed. Let me get up. Gotta get me out my bed. Hashtag
if we
bed.
If we were up to Sybil, we would have all our meetings at 10, 11, and 12 o'clock, midnight, and 1 a.m. for some. Yes,
hashtag
that's
bed, great girlfriend.
night.
Listen, great girlfriends, when you listen to this episode, you just say hashtag bed, and I'm going to know y'all all listen to this episode. That's our code. That's our code for this episode. Hashtag bed.
Hashtag night owl. Hashtag night owl. Everybody's not a night owl.
I am indeed a night owl. Oh, it was awesome. So I did a quick trip to Atlanta with Kristen, and we went to the BET Hip Hop Awards, and it's such an unlikely event for either of us to go to. But
I love it though.
It's a tad off-brand, but it was an awesome experience, and I'm going to tell you why. It was such a culturally fused experience, and it was so much more than I expected. I heard all these rumors about all the fights and all the drama and just how ghetto it was, and I'm going to say it was none of that. It was all things hip-hop, but it wasn't this ghetto fest that I've heard about. It was BET puts they do an amazing production as far as like the staging, the performances were fun and energetic, the crowd was fun and energetic. It was really, really fun. It really was. And
that sounds like so much fun. Did you snap?
I did not, because it's an award show there's no cameras and all that stuff. So I wasn't able to snap. But was really great. I just want to shout out Louis Carr, who's the director of, I want to say, media for BET, because he was the one that hosted a contest, and that's how I actually acquired the tickets through a contest that was done online, which was really random that I even ever won anything. And I only entered the contest to support my friend who was facilitating, Yvonne, but ended up winning. And it wasn't even rigged. I actually won. I won. So crazy. So crazy. But Louis Carr has a new book out called Dirty Little Secrets, and I've had a chance to read through the beginning of it, and I'm like, okay, this is good. He is a really true stand-up honorary leader, and he's committed to giving just all kind of pearls of wisdom from his life and his experience as a leader in business and in media and entertainment. And so it's a really good read. So it's called Dirty Little Secrets. But that's what took us to Atlanta. Kristen was willing to go with me to the Hip Hop Awards. My husband refused. He was like, nope, I ain't going to that. I'm like, are you serious, Kwaku? He was like, no, I'm not going. So I'm like, who's going to go with me? And he was like, Kristen. I was like, yep, the only person I know that will be down. Yes. So Kristen was down. Because we're able to go and have an open mind about okay, what are we walking into? What are the lessons, the takeaways? So we did that. Had a chance to go to visit my friend Heather at church. Today was her birthday. Happy birthday, Heather Lindsay. And and see my little cousin. And I didn't have a chance to do a lot because it was a very quick trip, and I wanted to keep it focused. But it was really, really great. And now I'm back in town and heading out again, but both of us are getting ready for Restoration Weekend in the British Virgin Islands next week. I'm getting braids. Are you getting braids?
So excited.
You don't have enough hair to braid.
I'm not getting braids, but I've already started to think I do need to get my bikinis though. I need to get that together.
Well, the good thing is they're on sale right now. So, it's a great time to get something cute if you want to switch it up for this season where you're kind of traveling through the winter. And you head out to islands and you want something fresh that you didn't wear in the summer. A lot of them are on sale right now. Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna check Miss Ayla K It's a designer I know that does bikinis, and she does them specifically for women who've had babies.
Oh.
And recently, and need some solution-based bikinis.
I need to holler at her. I recently had my baby.
So I'm headed to Ayla K.
5 years ago was recent. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, Lord. We are so excited about Restoration Weekend, and I believe there might be only 3 spots left. So, ladies, if you're interested in taking a last minute, I've had a few women text me and say, "Oh, I need to go with you guys." There is still time. There's a few slots left, but you got to grab them quick. I would suggest going ahead and grabbing them today. The website is restorationwknd.com. Is it .com, Sybil?
Yep, that's it.
.com, and you guys can get your tickets there. So we cannot wait to see you. Yeah, just
don't
do
think
it. You
twice
deserve
about
this.
It. It's going to be fantastic.
You got the vacation time. Yeah, do
That's
it.
Right. Spend some time with us. We're fun.
Awesome. Yeah,
well, I'm fun. And if you don't know how fun I am, you can check out my Instagram that I've been doing an excellent job of updating at Sybil_AMUTI. If I am correct on this, the last update I see from Brandis, just see here. Let me see.
Because I have been a full-time mother, I have not had a chance to go on social media. I have had all intentions of doing a Facebook Live because I owe the great girlfriends a recap on New York Fashion Week, and I just haven't had the energy.
Yeah, your last post here again, Sky is knocked out and Rich is on.
It was the same.
Not much has happened in your world, according to this.
Oh, all right.
You know what? It's all good.
I'm going to do better. But, girl, that full-time mother thing, I'm telling you, it did me in.
I know. It's a lot. I'm afternoon mama. Yeah, I'm back on afternoon duty for a while. So I get it. So, but anyway, I just want to I just had to mess with you for that because that is a trip.
I know.
But I do want to highlight, we are at 38 reviews on iTunes, and I just wanted to shout out, yes, we're doing really good. So our goal is to get 50 girlfriends, and that was by the end of August, but maybe we can shoot for end of September to get 50 iTunes reviews. And it helps us to get our podcast in front of other people, and it helps other women to know the quality of what we have here. And it just helps iTunes to put trust in us. It gives us a lot more credibility. So if you don't mind, when you're listening, to go on iTunes and give us a review. I love this one from Miss Teacher 2. She said, I heard about this podcast from another great girlfriend a few weeks ago, and I am hooked. I love that. She said, I've been binge listening, and each episode has been so relevant and relatable. I found myself taking notes and taking action. That's what I'm talking about, girl.
I love
it. She says, I so appreciate the transparency of Sybil and Brandis. Look forward to all of the new episodes. Meanwhile, I'm sharing with all of my great girlfriends. Isn't that cool?
Thank you so much. Yes. Where's she from? Did she say where she was from?
She didn't. Her name is Miss Teacher 2, and she titled it So Empowering and Inspiring.
Oh, Yay. Thank you so much, Miss Teacher 2.
Yes, that's a fantastic review. These reviews, not only do they help iTunes, they help us. We just know we're on track.
They definitely help us. Yes. Yeah. And thank you, guys. We're still getting emails, so thank you so much for your emails and, your comments that you're leaving on the website, which we have all of our show notes on our website. So after every episode we record, we have Amanda Perry, who's absolutely incredible, helps us put our show notes together, and they're on our website. So please, please, please check out the show notes.
Yes. So today, in 15 minutes. In 10 minutes or less today. What are we covering, Brandon? What are we talking about? We had a show topic, y'all. She was like, I can't cover that tonight. We're gonna have to do that another day. So, but this one is going to be even better. This is going to be even better because it is going to release you guys. But this episode is going to be way better than the other one. It's going to be really great, Sid. Agreed. So what are we talking about? Come on, let's do this.
So we're talking about releasing the guilt, letting it go. And I am talking about guilt that we put on ourselves, but specifically we're talking about guilt other people try to put on you. You know what I mean?
Let me get my Hammond out. Where's my organ at? Where's my organ?
Look, like Sybil. Oh, so you decided to take Kristen to Atlanta. Knowing I wasn't going to want to go, but you know how we do.
Right. Oh, wow. I didn't know you and Kristen were that close.
Right.
Wow, I guess I was buzzed.
Right?
I guess I wasn't available.
So you had a play date with her. Oh, okay. That's nice.
Mm-hmm. All kind of shade. And that guilt, girlfriends, we all know it because sometimes we use it. Because Brenda tried it on me the other day, and I was like, nope.
What I do? What did I do?
When I'm not ready to record. Well, I tried. I tried to record. I'm like, and I do it to her. I'm like, really, Brandon? I thought we were gonna record. We do it, but the good thing about it is that it's almost healthy because we need a little bit of it for us to keep our edge on. This is good for our relationship. But what about when people try to impose guilt on you that makes you feel condemned? It makes you feel like your decisions are no good or that your decisions don't meet their approval rating, right?
Yes.
That kind of guilt. That's the kind of guilt we're talking about today, girlfriends. How do you rid yourself from feeling the oppression of other people's guilt? Because it is real.
It is so real. And other people's oppression, the guilt they try to place on you, it will have you in places where you don't even want to be. You look up and you're like, how did I get here? Why am I still here? I'm still here because, my aunt used this guilt trip on me, or my grandmother used this guilt trip on me, and my mother or my sisters. It will have you in places that you don't even want to be because you're feeling so bad and so guilty, and you're living your life under that guilt.
Yeah, that's so true. You're saying it best, Brandon, because it affects you the most when it comes from people that are closest to you, which will typically will be your family, and then your friends, and then your coworkers, and then your sorority sisters, or your church members, or your travel buddies. Whatever that outer circle goes, and then from there out. But it starts with the people that have the ability, that know you the best, know your heart the best, understand you, yet still want to condemn you for something that they feel you should have done differently.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think we've all experienced it. In some way, shape, or form, we've all experienced it. We've probably all done it, right?
Yep.
Today, my niece is actually moving from New York, and this is my niece. Like, that's my rider. I mean, when I tell y'all, she's my rider. She's my rider, and she's moving from New York. Hold on. Shoot. Thank you.
Hello?
Yep. I was just trying to be quiet to give myself a praise. I had to get the food. I ordered rich food.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But I even found myself. Oh yeah, I even found
myself.
But I even found myself doing it today to my niece. So my niece, who is my absolute rider, is moving from New York, and she's moving out of New York in like another month or so. And being a full-time mom this weekend while Rich was working, I was like, I need Deandra. I need her. She's doing something. I talked to her. I was like, oh, I really can't believe you're leaving. Are you sure you want to leave?
Look at
I had a whole moment, but I said it to her in a joking way, but honestly, sometimes, and I tell her all the time, if you feel like this is what you're supposed to do, girl, go do it. But
Yeah.
that sometimes when we start thinking about ourselves, that selfish part of us can, try to make us impose guilt on someone else for decisions that they're making that's right for their life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's crazy because sometimes people want to play judge and jury, so they're like, listen, what I say and think and feel, my perspective or my, opinion of what you should be doing is superior to your own. So I will
Girl, it's
impose guilt,
true.
right? So I'm going to impose guilt on you when I feel that you are not adhering to the superior voice that needs to, in your life. And a good example of that is when I was moving back to New York in 2001. When I was moving back, it was okay when I was coming here for school. But when I was coming here to pursue God's plan for my life, which I made clear to my parents, my dad, who normally doesn't say much about my decisions, was like, you know, you want to be that far from home? And why can't you just get a
Right.
job in Memphis? And are you sure it was God? And what you're going after is tough. It's gonna be some
Yes.
challenges and what about family? I mean, all these things, and I was so
Yes.
stunned that it was coming from who I thought was one of my biggest cheerleaders, my dad, to hear him starting to shoot all these different things at me that matter to him. Those are his priorities. Not that I don't love my family, but following God's voice was supreme for me, and I thought my parents would be excited about that. But my father was expressing what I consider global apprehension, which was him and my mom had talked, and she knew that she couldn't make the call, so she sent him.
Call it global effort.
It was global apprehension. It was global. It was global apprehension. It was
That's
from
hilarious.
Yes, it was. And that's what I think it was. But what it did to me was it condemned me for doing the very thing that I knew God was leading me to do. And I felt so challenged by it because and that's what the other thing is when people put that guilt on you. They know how much you trust their voice and their opinion. They know how valuable
Yeah,
they are to you. And so sometimes they'll
absolutely.
use that to manipulate your decisions to work in their favor versus in your favor. And
Yep.
so
I,
instead of feeling conviction, I felt condemnation.
I was gonna say, Sybil, sometimes, and not putting this on your dad or your mom. I'm talking in
Mhm.
general.
Mhm.
Sometimes people do it so much that they don't even realize they're doing it. When I
Oh,
tell you
girl, no.
they don't even realize
They've
they're
been
actually
doing it.
putting guilt on you because this is how they
No.
live. They
Yeah.
basically manipulate the world around them, and you
Yep.
just happen to be in that world.
And let's do that, Brandis. I love this because for the sake of this episode and beyond, I want everybody, every great girlfriend and great guy friend that's listening to know that guilt equals manipulation, negative manipulation. And like you
Yes.
said, they use that manipulation in so many different areas of life. You're just another victim of their manipulative
You're just
ways.
another victim. They don't even know they're
Yeah.
doing it. They actually think, girl, I'm doing this out of love, and
Yep.
that I'm doing this because I care for you, and because
Yeah.
somebody got to tell you.
Right,
And so
right.
I'm gonna.
Continue.
so I'm gonna be the one. I'm
Yep.
gonna be the one. Everybody else is thinking it, but I'm gonna be the one to tell you that I know that you're thinking about moving to Florida and that you think that's a good idea, and I know that's something you've been dreaming of doing for a very long time. But that's just not smart. You
Yes.
got two kids, they're in
Mhm.
school, you got a ton of support here. Now, why in the
Mhm.
world would you move from here and move to Florida? I know
Mhm.
that's where you
Mhm.
think you're supposed to go, but that's just not smart. That's
Mhm.
just not smart. You need to just nip that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And before you know
you
it,
know mama's
yeah.
sick. So
And you know mama's getting old. Look,
and you
look,
know they getting
Sybil,
old.
Sybil, sometimes mama don't even be sick.
I
People, mom, mom,
know. I was on the
mama
phone,
got
mama.
more of a social life than you got.
And then you get on the phone, mama be like, "Girl, go, girl, bye." But
Right.
exactly, all of that comes your way, and the thing about it is because of your heart and because of your desire to want to sometimes please people or sometimes have approval. you will consider, or you will start to negotiate with your own mind, because you want to make the best decision for everyone, but sometimes it comes at a cost, and that's because you're being condemned and you're being guilted into considering something that is a different course of action that will ultimately change sometimes your destiny. Because I know plenty of people that have had desires to do great things and have really great giftings, but are afraid or haven't gone after them because they've been guilted into being the support for their family, or I'm the one that checks on daddy every Wednesday, or I'm the one that I hold it down for my whole church. I'm the treasurer. So no one else can do this treasurer job, and no one did it before me, and there's no one to come after me. I'm the one. I'm responsible for this chapter of my sorority. So I
Yeah.
can't leave, because who's going to cover my job? Or I'm a mentor. I mentor these kids, and if I leave, who's going to mentor them? And
Yes.
people will guilt you into thinking that you're the hero and that you're the only one that has the ability to do what's being asked of you, not because you're the only one, but because they want to depend on you, or they want to they want to hold you back, or they're afraid that you will get out there and fail and then have to come back and face them as a failure in their eyes.
Right. Yes, girl. Because there are times when, I mean, sometimes you're supposed to be going far. Sometimes you're supposed to be moving from Australia to India, or
Yeah.
from India to the U.S., or from the U.S.
Yeah.
to London. Like,
Yeah.
you just never know what God has for you, what his plan is for you. But people will hold you back with their
Yeah.
guilt.
Yeah.
And it just, and people know you, so they know you can do it. I had a one of my really good friends. I was talking to her today, and she just went through a very, 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 very tragic situation.
Mhm.
And so she has one friend who she's been friends with for, I mean, a long time. They're like family.
Mhm.
But her other friends, who might not be as close to her as this particular friend, all want to be there for her right now through this
Mhm.
tragedy.
Mhm.
And the other friend is challenging the friendships. It's
Wait a
like,
minute.
oh, I didn't know. Wait a minute. I didn't. As the other friends are trying to be there for her, this one friend is like, family is like, well, wait a minute. I mean, I didn't even know y'all were that close. I mean,
See, that's
don't they?
horrible.
And then just bringing up all kind of stuff about, and it's like, and I'm like, are you serious? Like,
Yeah.
like this is what we want to do. We want to be there for you right now.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
sometimes friends do that, which makes no sense because, and the thing I told her, I said, just always remember this about love. Love releases you. Love frees you.
Yeah.
Love doesn't
Absolutely.
control. If anything is starting
Absolutely.
to feel like control, it's not love.
It's not love. That's real.
It's
That's
not
real.
God's
Let's
love. It may be a love that
exactly.
person may not know how to love anymore, but it's not God's love. I should say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's look at some of the symptoms. how you know how you know you're being guilted, or what are some of the ways that guilt will show up? And one of the ways, I think, is guilt will impose a pressure on you that you don't feel compelled to. Meaning, if someone is guilting you, they will have you feeling they'll try to influence your decisions, or to lure you into whatever the guilt is that they're imposing, by making you feel pressures that you don't feel. Like, for
Right.
example, my parents were older when I was born. Like, my mom had me at 38, I think. So, my parents are older. From the start, they were going to be aging by the time I graduated college. They would have been in their 50s, nearing their 60s and so forth. So, if I had listened to the idea that my parents were aging, aren't we all aging? Like, aren't we
Right.
all progressing in age? And
Right.
isn't that the story that we're all going to approach it someday in time? So I would have ultimately surrendered 20 years of my life to basically living in Memphis and waiting on what, a death watch?
Right.
Because I would have felt, or I would have conformed to pressures that were not my own. And that's one of the first symptoms, is when you start feeling pressures that people are imposing on you that you don't even feel. That's the first one for me. What about you, Brandon?
Absolutely. I think when you're in a place and you don't even know how you got there.
Mm.
When you're in school and you're getting a degree in something and you don't even understand why you're getting a degree in that. You don't even understand why you're in school because you wanted to go to hair school. Why are you in a 4-year college? And I think sometimes when you look up and when you're doing a particular thing that, for me, I'll say, if I had stayed on my job working for International Intimates, which, if it was up to, some people around me, I would have been doing that. I wouldn't have ever quit my job to pursue HFR full time. I would be sitting there and I would be so frustrated, and I would be there out of guilt and feeling like I needed to be there because other people thought I should still be there. Because people were like, why would you quit? That was a fabulous job. It was a great salary. It was a great job. It allowed me to travel the world. Like, why would you leave that? So I think sometimes we're in these positions because sometimes it's not even our own fear. It's literally because of the guilt we would feel if we left that job because of the things that people around us say.
Right. That's true. Very true. Yeah. I would say, too, you just don't feel empowered or uplifted or inspired or ignited by something that someone's saying to you. If someone's giving you things to consider, it overwhelms you, and it's not overwhelming in a way that empowers you to do your research. It makes you feel like quitting. It makes you feel like the thing that you desire is not worth it. Or that you are making a wrong decision because you haven't considered 1,000 factors that are fear factors, and not faith factors. And sometimes that happens, and that one for me, it can come from people that you think have so much faith, and they like to impose fear on you. Or a lot of times people will say, well, our millennials, you're so young. Do you think you're ready? Are you ready? You're so young, or you're so old. You think it's too late? What's the perfect age? You know what I'm saying?
Right. There is none.
And then you talk to, and I love all of our protectors, but our protectors will always tell you all of the different things that can come against you, that make you feel inadequate or you just don't feel empowered. And I know I have some of the most amazing girlfriends in my corner and on the phone and so forth. I also know who to call, when to call, because I do have some friends that will guilt me into a corner on the smallest things because they have emotional needs and they want me to meet them and I'm not capable. So they'll try to give me pressure on things, make me feel pressured because I can't do everything that everyone else does because I do have 2 children, or my priorities are different because I have to prioritize my, God first, then my family, then my career, and they don't always fit on my calendar when they want me to fit them. And so, those pressures can come up, but I have to be very clear on where I stand with my time and my commitments, and I have to know I have to have a perspective that's set so that I'm not moved by things. But that not feeling empowered, is another symptom that you're being guilted.
Absolutely. And I would also say if you're resentful, like if there's like resentment in your heart, go check that and figure out why you're resentful. Because a lot of times we're so resentful because of people, because they've held us back or we think they've held us back from this, that, or the other. But a lot of times they've guilted us.
Yeah.
Into so many different things. And so we have all of this resentment built up because we're not living the lives we want. We've living the lives that guilt has basically cornered us. And so guilt has basically created our life for us.
Yeah.
Which is crazy when you think about it, that some people are living lives created by guilt from other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's that conformity, and that's a lot of times people want to keep you positioned where they need you and where they think you best suited versus where God is trying to position you.
Yes.
Yeah. I would also say, I think, my last one would be that you're unable to locate your opinion or your voice or your perspective on something because you feel clouded. And you feel clouded because everything that you thought you were so sure about just got, just got jumbled and tossed away by someone who tried to ultimately manipulate you or dominate your thought process with what they felt was most important. And so
Absolutely.
it leaves you feeling confused. You like, you know, what do I do? I don't know what I feel anymore. I don't feel certain around, my own decisions anymore because I listened to this person who condemned me or judged me or guilted me into reconsidering everything that I thought I knew so well.
Absolutely. Oh, girl, you know a lot of people in that place. I
I
just don't know.
know.
I
I
just don't
know.
know. I just
Like,
don't
I
know.
don't know. And so many times we girlfriends were hitting on these because we get the emails, we get the texts, we get the conversations on the side where you're saying, I think I know, but I don't feel confident. I'm not sure. Or, I don't feel like I qualify and I feel, like Brenda said, I feel resentful because I feel like so much time has passed or I gave up so much of my time to this marriage and now that's over. So, I feel like I shouldn't move because, I have this job and I have this team and I have all this stuff until you get laid off, right? But anyway,
Right.
and you know what I'm saying? But all these things, we get those calls and we get the emails, so we know, and we also experience firsthand all these considerations. I negotiated with my own dreams for a long time because people were guilting me into thinking that if I were not in the position that they needed me in, I was letting down so many people that I loved. And that was hard for me because I love people at the core and I want to always be the best for them, but I had to realize I was compromising everything that God was telling me to do in exchange for someone else's comfort. And I was being condemned and judged, and I felt conflicted around everything that I was purposed about. I knew I was purposed, but I felt conflicted because I said, well, these people I trust are saying this, but God, I feel like my heart, the God in me is saying this,
Right.
and so there was that war that was taking place, and guilt will put you there in that war.
It will put you there. It will absolutely
Yeah.
put you there. The last thing I'm going to say a symptom is if you're shrinking. A lot of times
Mm.
we'll shrink so that we don't make anyone else around us feel uncomfortable. So we'll
Yep.
make ourselves smaller so that this other person who we think needs to feel bigger, so
Yep.
they can feel bigger and
At
we
the
won't
cost
get
of your
any guilt
shine.
trip from them. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Because if we really shine the way that we're supposed to shine or the way that we're meant to shine, then they're going to guilt us into shrinking back.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you get out there and you do your thing and you were amazing, and then somebody come behind you and say, girl, so now you Oprah Winfrey, huh?"
Right. Right.
Oh,
Or
girl, so now you're a Yamla now, huh? I see you, girl.
Yes.
That's guilt.
Yes.
It's
It's guilt.
manipulation and it's guilt because the
Yep.
only response should be congratulations. That was absolutely amazing. But some of us we shrink back because the moment we shine, we get so much black for it.
And that's
Everybody
that
making
what
us
they're
feel
saying.
guilty about it.
Exactly. And what they're saying is, who do you think you are? Who do you
Right.
think you are? Who do you think you are, Oprah? Who do you think you are, Iyanla? Who do you think you are, somebody?
Right.
Who do you think you are? You gonna make your dream come true?
Right.
Like,
Or people will say, those people loved you, huh? Those people in there, they
right?
love you, huh? You know how people do? Shade.
Yes, yes. Come on, we
Shade.
know it.
And then
We
you're
know it.
shrinking back because you don't want anybody to make you feel guilty for being the most amazing, incredible, fabulous person that you were meant to be.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
you are.
absolutely. Yep.
But you're like, but it makes it makes someone else feel uncomfortable, and so
Yep.
you shrink to make them feel more comfortable because you don't want to feel the guilt of being exactly who you are, which is insane.
Yeah, and it's a reality. And girlfriends, I say enough. I say enough of us compromising. I say enough of us negotiating. I say enough of us hesitating. Enough of us suppressing. Enough of us ignoring. The calling and the life and the thing we're called to do. Enough of us surrendering to guilt. Enough of us surrendering to condemnation. Enough of that. It's enough. It's time out for that because There's so much on the line, and every one of us is intended to shine our light in different ways. And we can't be condemned by people who never had enough courage to fly, coming and telling us that we don't qualify to do the thing that they've never even done. How you gonna tell
Right.
me I can't go do and be when you've not done it? You don't even know what it takes.
You've
So
never
how
even
can you
tried it.
disqualify me by guilting me into thinking that I'm less than amazing? You can't
Right.
do that to me. And we each have to be bold and confident enough to say, no, you cannot do that to me. I will not surrender all of who I am to who you think I'm supposed to be. You
Absolutely.
can't do that. So if you're going to overcome, you're going to need some tips. And my great girlfriend Brandis and I have come up with some solutions for overcoming and avoiding and you know neglecting and getting rid of that guilt so that it doesn't have the say so in your life that it may have had once before. So now you know how to identify it. You know the symptoms of what it looks and feels like, the texture of that guilt when it's imposed on you. And now we're going to give you a few solutions on ways that you can just eradicate it from your life because you don't have to
Yes.
surrender to that. And even if it comes from your beloved mom and dad and siblings and husband or boyfriend or whatever, the closest people that are to you, there's still space for you to own your own life and your own voice. So you want to do number one,
Yes.
Brandis?
I'm going to say number one is identify what you want. I think
Girl,
sometimes
yes.
we don't even know what we want because we've been guilted so much,
Hmm.
and I just see it all around me. People have been guilted into this particular life that they're living. So identify what is it that you want, not what anybody wants for you or what anybody thinks is good for you, but what do you want,
Yes.
and
Yes.
what is God giving you peace about?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's number one.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm going to say number two is, you've got to know your voice. You've got to
Yes,
know and own it. And it's very important for me, my voice and my ownership of who I am, my voice and what I'm capable of doing, comes from my confidence in the God in me and me knowing what it is that God is tasking me to do and being confident in what He has instructed me to do and having clarity on that. So when people do come and try to impose guilt, and it happens often, often, often. I have enough God in me and confidence in the voice that leads my heart to say yes, no, maybe, whatever I feel, because I know what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm supposed to do it. And I think sometimes we don't have enough of that confident assurance to be able to say, well, I'm in the right place at the right time. I have to know in my heart, girlfriends, you have to know in your heart, you're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, according to the voice guiding you. And my voice that guides me is the God in me. And that for me is supreme. And I surrender all of my thoughts and ideas to that. And anything that comes against that is a conflict of interest for me.
absolutely, Sybil. Absolutely. And I would just say number three would be start identifying when people try to come up to you with guilt or people try to bring guilt over you, just identify that. Like literally
Mm-hmm.
see it for what it is and identify that and make sure you're not making decisions based on someone else's like imposed guilt. Like just get rid of all
Mm-hmm.
the uh guilt that people try to impose on you. Just
Yeah.
but you have to be able to identify it cuz some people are so great at it that it'll
Mhm.
try to come across as them helping you.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
make
Mhm.
sure that you're able to identify it when you see it. Just say this is what it is and dismiss it.
Mhm.
Because again,
Mhm.
my friend today was almost about to really kind of reject the help that her friends were trying to give her based on the comment from this other friend. And I had
Wow.
to tell her that's not fair to us.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's not fair to you.
Right. Right.
It's not fair to us to not be able to love you and support you during this time. And it's not fair to you not to be able to accept that love and that support. but she didn't
Yeah.
identify it as a guilt trip. She
Mhm.
couldn't
Mhm.
see it. So I think once you identify it and you can see it, then you'll know how to handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm gonna follow that up with what number are we on? Was that 3?
4.
That was 4.
You are number 4. No, that
I
was
wanted
3.
4.
That was 3.
Yes, right. Okay, so 4. Number 4. I'm going to say you're gonna have to create proximity for people in your life. Only the people that can give you the healthiest opinions and the healthiest assessments and the healthiest critiques. Keep those people close. You're gonna have to really balance
Yes.
the people that have proximity to you, and that means sometimes adjusting your circle, adjusting your advisory board, adjusting your mentors,
Yes.
having enough wisdom to know when to utilize certain people. There are people that have strengths in certain seasons, and I don't call everyone for everything. I don't call
Yeah.
my mom when I know I'm about to jump off a cliff in Jamaica. My mother will tell me 10 reasons why that is against God's will.
Right.
So I can't call her
Right.
then. But when I'm ready to buy a house, I can call my mom because I know my mom will give
Right.
me step-by-step clarity on how to make the wisest decisions on investing in the market. So I know when to
Right.
call my parents, you know what I'm saying? Or I know when to call my sisters, or I know which friends to call, and I create proximity according to, um, what I need. And I make it very clear that people don't have superior voice. So it's very important that you don't give people enough proximity to your decisions and to your life that they can govern, and
I
making sure
love
that
what
you
you say
have.
about the
Go
superior
ahead.
voice, Sybil. I love when you
Yeah,
say
oh, it's
that.
so
That sometimes
important.
you give other people superior voice over your own. I love that.
It's true though. It's true. And just recently I was doing a coaching conversation with a girlfriend, and she's so sweet. She's a young, fresh millennial, and she's got a job, and she's miserable. She's just downright miserable. And what we realized, the clarity that we got at the end of that conversation was that she's been, in college. She went from high school to college, and from college she went straight into a job. And she's so accustomed to having a guiding voice, someone, a
Mm.
curriculum, instruction, a teacher, a
Mhm.
tutorial, some type of guiding force that gives her structure, that tells her where to be and how to be and when to do it. That now she's in the adult world, and she realized she didn't even know her own voice.
Oh wow.
Time for her to make decisions. Like, she didn't want this mortgage job. It was going to give her enough money. It's going to give her, a good career. It's going to position her where she could be comfortable, get her own apartment, X, Y, and Z. But she's forsaking everything she wants to do, and she almost felt guilted into it because, for her it was an opportunity to make money, and family have needs, and you can help provide, and you have a responsibility to help support mama, support you, help support mama. So all
Right.
of those things were coming against her. But what she realized was part of the reason that she didn't have the confidence and she felt so guilty, it was because she didn't have superior voice. She really had given everyone else the ability to lead her. And as a youngest as well, she felt like, well, my family knows what's best for me. Maybe I'm not ready yet to go after my dreams and all these things. And so we had clarity around that. Well, you've always had structure there to take you from step to step. Now, for you to walk in faith, that's between you and God, and that's something that that comes from having your own relationship and your own voice.
Yes. I love
So,
that,
but
Sib.
yes, that proximity thing is crucial because you will have to modify the circles sometimes to get the outcomes that you're looking for. And people won't always understand why you're making decisions without them. And they'll be surprised when they're like, oh, girl, I didn't know you were doing that. Yeah, I was
Right.
doing that, but I couldn't call you about that because you're so negative. I just couldn't talk
Right.
about that. You're
Right.
too negative. You're not going to help me keep myself encouraged. I can't call you for that, girl. You're going to tell me that I
Right.
need to sit back and, do what everybody else wants me to do. So, yeah, that
I love it,
proximity.
Sybil.
Yeah.
I honestly think that's if I had a bonus because I think that was a wrap. But I think if I had a bonus, I would just say that remember love gives you freedom. Love
Yes, it
allows you to
does.
be free. That's the bonus.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think you have to remember that because anytime love feels like it's it's holding you back, or it's you feel like you're in chains, or that's, just question that. Love allows you to fly.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brandis. You love me. You always allow me to fly, girl.
I'm like, you better
and
go.
I'm gonna tell y'all, Brandis Mabel Daniel, that's my girl. I'm gonna tell you. Now, one time, even
I cannot with you calling me Mabel.
She is Mabel, y'all. She go to bed at 8:30. She wake up at 4.
9 o'clock. I go to bed at 9.
Lord Jesus, she is Mabel. She's Mabel. So, and if anybody ever tell you they saw Brandis in the club at 2 a.m, you know that's a lie. You know it's a lie.
Lord.
She had to be on her meds to be out that late
It's got to
at
be something special. Must be my birthday.
On a serious note, one of the major attributes that I feel like with my friends and specifically with Brandis is because we've seen images of our individual lives together. You've seen me transition so many times, Brandis, and I've seen you transition, and it's never been like, are you sure? It's never been like that. It's
girl.
like, all right, this is what you're going to do? Bam, boom. And even when we started the Great Girlfriends, and we hit up Rashida to kind of, legally get ourselves set up. Rashida wasn't like, what, y'all trying to be a Yala? Rashida was like, no, let's get the trademark going. Let's get this paperwork locked down. That she just got
There's a lot of freedom. There's a lot of freedom in our friendship, which allows us to do the Great Girlfriends. I mean, I think it'd be very difficult to do if either one of us was, trying to do anything but love each other and give them. Yeah. It's a lot of freedom there.
And this is available to everyone, FYI. We're no special people. This is everything that we have, not just in each other, because we have some really dope women, just period, like around us.
Yeah.
It's available to all of you, but it's something that's cultivated, and that guilt thing is just not welcome. It's not welcome in your friendships.
And don't give it to anyone else, because if you're the one giving guilt, so this
girl.
we think that we're talking to the woman telling her not to have guilt, but if we're talking to the one and you were saying ouch throughout this whole thing because you're the one throwing guilt everybody's way, then just say ouch and get better. That's it.
Get better. Just stop it.
We're not condemning you. Just stop it.
No, but if you felt conviction, it's because you know you wrong. And it's
right. And go and apologize and tell them you're struggling.
Yes.
You're in guilt recovery.
Look, quick laughter. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm bad. This just reminded me because, I deal with FOMO. I have fear of missing out. And I've decided to just acknowledge the fact that it's real in my life. It's real. And it makes it hard for me when people leave my house. I don't like to let people leave. I had some friends over because one of our friends is leaving to go for a new job, and so she wanted to have some few friends over. So one of our friends had to go to work really early the next day, and she was trying to leave, and I was like, Nicole, wait, what about you? Did you do this? And I'm trying to drag her.
You really don't let people leave.
I don't let people leave, and it's a problem. So I'm a guilter.
She decides once you get to Sybil's house, I was just about to give you her address. But once you make it to Paramus, New Jersey,
I try to make you spend the night. I'm gonna try to feed you.
She's gonna try to offer you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks and ice cream.
So I know I have to adjust. And the funny thing was when this was happening, Krista looked over at me like, don't do it. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, Nicole, I know you got to go. Because I was like, I'm doing it. Oh, no.
That is so
I
hilarious.
know I got to adjust. I have to adjust. And now I know I'm going to be held to even higher standards around it from putting it out on the podcast. But
yes, girl.
Yeah.
Because our great girlfriends, they hold us accountable.
Oh, Lord
I've
Jesus.
had people tell me, Brandis, I heard you say an episode.
You're like, oh no, you're listening to the episode.
I said, you listened to that episode? Yeah, I listened to the episode. Hilarious.
That's what's up, though. That's it, y'all. That's it.
Well, we want to thank all of you. We want to thank our incredible husbands, first of all, Kwaku and Rich, for just
He's been on daddy duty for 4 days, girl.
He's been on daddy duty for, well, you know what? Me and Kwaku should have talked because I've been on mama duty. We could have had us a session. We could have had a session, honey.
My dude, that's my dude. I love you.
I love it. I love it. And to our little ones, to Miss Sky, who is about to be 1 in 1 month.
Woo. I know. How exciting. Oh,
I know. Exciting and scary. Oh.
It's almost time for another baby. I know it is. I'm getting ready. Not for me, for you. For you. Not for me.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
I'm getting ready. It's coming. I know it is.
Not anytime soon, Sybil. You got some time.
Okay. Well, and the girlfriends, we thank you.
And Sam and Dylan for holding it down.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Sam and Dylan, I love my babies. They're so sweet, y'all. They
held it down.
They're fantastic. I love them. I love them. Love you guys.
Yes.
Girlfriends, thank you so much for everything you do to support us, to nurture us, to keep us encouraged, to check us, to tell us when we could do better, to tell us as we're growing, and to share the podcast with your friends, and to be courageous and help us to grow this mission. We just thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. Oh, thank you so much. And we're at 50,000 women. We're 50,000. Oh, thank y'all. So thank you guys for continuing to share. You can check us out on our social, on our Instagram at
The Great Girlfriends. You know,
Twitter.
Playing in my head.
Twitter.
GFS.
On our website,
thegreatgirlfriends.com.
And you can also check us out on iTunes. We're on Blueberry, Podcast Republic, Stitcher. I think we're on Podbean. Almost anywhere you can find a podcast, you can check us out, and please subscribe there.
Yes. Make sure you post, share with your friends. Keep listening.
And keep being a great girlfriend.
I'm Sybil.
And I'm Brandis.
And we're signing off.
Bye, guys. We love you.
Bye.